The time has come.
In the year 2000X, a super robot named Mega Man was created. Dr. Light created Mega Man to stop evil desires of Dr. Wily. However, after his defeat, Dr. Wily created 8 of his own robots to counter Mega Man. Man, this text takes a second, hold on. Welcome to Mega Man 2. I'm Jockey, I'm back from Mega Man 1. We're starting the second one right away. That's because this one is the best on the NES, in my opinion anyway. You can have your own opinion. After all, there are a lot of Mega Man games on the NES, so I'm sure every game has its own fans. But anyway, let's get into this game and the reasons I love it so much. First of all, we have a choice between normal and difficult, and I really like this. It's the only Mega Man game on the NES to give us this choice. I don't know why. It only gives us it in the American version because, oh, Americans suck at games, but still, I like that that is a choice. I like it in all games. Starting up Mega Man 2, we now have 8 Robot Masters, as the intro stated. They're all created by Dr. Wily this time, because in the last game they were stolen from Dr. Light, reprogrammed by Dr. Wily. There was only 6 of them, but now they are his personal creations, created for the sole purpose of destroying Mega Man. We have Bubble Man, Air Man, Quick Man, Wood Man, Crash Man, Flash Man, Metal Man, and Heat Man. And we're going to be starting off with Metal Man for the reason that he gives off the best weapon in the game. So Metal Man's stage, I mean, the fundamentals of the game work the same. You jump, you shoot, you pick your 8 stages, except it's 8 instead of 6 this time. But Metal Man's stage focuses mainly on conveyor belts and spiky enemies, such as these things here, which we just kind of wait for them to go down and then go across. And the item you have picked up earlier is an energy tank. Now, we get 4 of these to hold at a time, and basically they are a full refill of our health anytime we need to use it, just going into the menu. It's really convenient during really tough boss battles, especially ones with like multiple phases. We are going to be saving our energy tanks for later on. Also, ammo and health now have different icons representing them, which these are the ones that the later NES Mega Man games would use, mainly because this game was a huge success, especially compared to the first Mega Man game. This game was honestly like a side project from Capcom, considering the first Mega Man game wasn't all that, and, you know, it didn't sell all that much. They were like, okay, we'll make a sequel, but it's like, you two do it, and the rest of us will focus on more important stuff. And yet this sold like crazy, and it spawned a whole series of the Mega Man. It is odd how Mega Man no longer has any of his power-ups he had from the previous Mega Man game. I guess he didn't feel he would need them anymore or something. And that energy tank, we can like jump straight down and then go back to get it, but then we won't be able to reach the next platform. Yeah, kind of silly design. That's part of the issue with this game being a side project, is that not everything was play-tested properly. Not everything is exactly, you know, perfectly made. It's not a perfect game, but it is my favorite of the Mega Man NES titles. Anyway, going into Metal Man's boss, you'll notice that the boss chambers don't have any enemies in them anymore, and again, this would become the staple. Metal Man's boss fight is really simple. He stands in one position and throws metal blades at you. The only thing that happens is occasionally he'll flash the screen, and then the conveyor belt will start going in a different direction, which will cause him to then jump away from you, because he always wants to be on the opposite side of you. Nothing really special about that boss fight, but what is special is that weapon. We now have the metal blade that he had, and well, it might seem like, oh, it's just a metal blade to throw, nothing special. It is ridiculously good, and I'll explain why in a bit. Under the stage selected, the next stage we're going to go after is Bubble Man's stage, since he's probably the easiest robot master in the game. Actually, there's a lot of easy robot masters in the game. This bit with the waterfall, I won't lie, it is not pleasant to look at. But, the music in the stage is really good, though. And the metal blade is even better, because we can aim it in any direction we want, of 8 directions, and it barely uses any ammo whatsoever. These frog enemies just shoot out their smaller frog enemies at us, but if they happen to, if one small frog enemy happens to live, and that one just follows us around, the other ones won't shoot any because they'll think it's theirs. This area is kind of a perfect example of the design wasn't exactly done perfectly, because you jump down here and you think, oh, I'll hug this side, but then you just land on that guy. You have to like go around him, and you don't know where he is because the screen hasn't gotten there, and if you happen to be in the wrong place, there's nothing you can do. again, this game isn't perfect. Now we have kind of the water level of the game. In the last game it was really Iceman. In this game, it's Bubble Man, which makes a bit more sense. And I love how the water controls in this game so much more than the original Mega Man game. You jump super high, you move a bit slower, yes, but it's not a big deal. Now the downside to jumping high is they place a lot of spikes on the ceiling here. So it's not so much like a measure of, oh, jump as high as you can, it's a measure of like, jump just the right distance, and I kinda like that. These spikes do one-shot you, by the way, so you gotta be really careful going through them. We have more frog enemies, only underwater this time. So yeah, this frog lives, so then as long as he's on screen, that one will never shoot frogs, because he's just thinks that that's his that he shoots out, and they don't only shoot 3 at a time. This section can be kind of difficult just because the crabs are coming from the ceiling and you don't want them to hit you on your way into the next platform. As you can see, we're actually going to be doing this next boss fight underwater, which is, I think, new for the Mega Man series at this point, unless it was like one of the Wily bosses had that. Did the Wily Stage 3 have that, maybe? He might have. Anyway, that's the end of Bubble Man. The Metal Blade is so ridiculously good. Prepare to see the Metal Blade for most of the Let's Play. That's just how it goes with Mega Man 2. And here we're gonna get the Bubble Lead weapon from defeating Bubble Man. And we're gonna use that, I think, 2 times in the whole game. So, not nearly as good as the Metal Blade. And Bubble Man was not the only Robot Master weak to Metal Blade, so was Woodman. So we're gonna go after Woodman next. And I think Woodman might also be weak to something else, or Bubble Man might also be weak to something else, but really, you could just use Metal Blade because it's also good against the enemies, so you're just using it the whole way through. Now the normal and hard difficulty, the only thing that really change is I believe the enemies might not drop as much good stuff, even though here it's like, oh boy, little ammo upgrade. And of course the bosses take half as much damage in normal mode compared to difficult mode. But it doesn't really matter too much, they still get destroyed by their weaknesses. The only fight where I'd say it really matters is against Quickman, but we'll get to him. It might look I'm doing 1 extra against these bunnies by accident, but it's actually just because the third Metal Blade will always pass through them. Now here's a section that's kind of difficult because the Metal Blade does not work against these chickens, and these chickens are coming in a very large quantity. And they jump. And they really like to jump. Wow, I lost a lot of my health against those chicken enemies. Well, we're gonna fight the boss now with just this much health, but it should be okay. Here's Woodman, and immediately as soon as the fight starts, Woodman will don his leaf shield, making him impossible to hit until he takes it off like so. You are able to get a lot of damage off on him when he takes his shield off, and then you can just take him out like that with the Metal Blade. While the aiming in multiple directions is nice with the Metal Blade, it's not really useful in boss fights because it's not like they're going to be below you or above you or anything. They're really just on the other side of the room doing some attacks. And we now got the Leaf Shield from Woodman himself. It's very similar to the attack he was using where he dons a shield around him and fires it.